Cindy Cisneros, owner of Creatively LLC, and this is the Create Well Minutecast, episode 115. And today we're going to talk about creative people and the desire to shop. Creative people we know, and we've talked about before, feel things very powerfully and have spent much of their lives trying to suppress their traits of powerful personality excuse me, told by society, family, friends, teachers, bosses, well-meaning people that their natural inclinations are too much, even harmful. We learn that the gifts that we have with our creative personality need to be suppressed. A lot of us learn that. Amongst these powerful gifts is impulsivity. And some of us might even kind of cringe thinking, oh gosh, like that's a bad thing, right? Okay, so we're going to start our discussion of urge to shop, standing upon the understanding that you are not wrong for having powerful feelings, including impulsivity. It is part of who you are. It is not a bad thing. But as part of your creative personality, this impulsivity is part of you. So if we are trying to suppress it or trying to change it or put a lid on it or turn it down, that's to deny part of who we are, trying to change part of who we are, trying to deny an important part of our experience, and this is unhealthy for us. One of the reasons, and there's a study that I cited in the article that goes with this cast, one of the reasons that, or one of the relationships that's important between creativity and impulsivity that's been studied is the higher the impulsivity, the higher the creativity. And if you think about that and you think about creative flow and kind of naturally going along with the quick, like, intuitiveness that impulsivity can give you when you're in the creative process, those things are fairly reciprocal, right? Because they also found in the same study that the opposite is true. The lower the impulsivity, the less creative people tend to be. So I think it's important for creative people to honor their impulsivity. But if there are parts of it that you find are problematic for your life, what we want to do is find ways to redirect the flow of that impulsivity, not suppress it altogether and try to change who we are. So ultimately what I'm saying is we understand this is a part of who we are. We understand that this is an asset to our creativity, which we like about ourselves. And so rather than try to suppress or change it, we're just going to recognize it and direct the flow in ways that serve us. So there's another study that I cite that talks about impulsivity in general, not directly related to creative people, but impulsivity in general when it comes to purchasing. And they did a study that was about redirecting impulsivity when it comes to purchasing by focusing it upon items that you already have. And they had various study groups and found that this was in fact a very impactful way to redirect that urge to spend and buy new. And I think a lot of us are familiar with this concept of focus on gratitude and be grateful for the things that you have as a healthy practice. And this is a little bit of a jump from that concept. So by having participants in their study, when they wanted to purchase something new, think about also things that they had that would serve a similar purpose or the same purpose and appreciate those things. The appreciation that they felt for the new thing was able to be redirected. So when we're talking about impulsivity to purchase, ultimately, and especially with creative people, we're talking about the appreciation of the solution to a problem, the beauty of a thing, and you can understand how redirecting that to solutions that you already have or can implement that maybe you haven't thought about, or beauty in things that you already have, may also help you feel protective of the monetary assets you already have and feel disinclined to go add things to the pot that you don't necessarily need. And so that's what the study was suggesting. I was thinking about this as a great strategy, but then going back into what I already know of creative people, and I want to add one thing specifically for creative people to what that study also recommends, because I definitely appreciate from the psychology perspective the redirection, and especially for creative people with the amount of energy you have, redirecting and not suppressing. And I think that's very mindful and very empowering, which we do a lot in creativity coaching and counseling. But I think, and I say this a lot, the most important healing aspect for creative people is their creativity. And because of the power and the passion that your personality holds, including that creativity aspect into the work you do for yourself is just necessary. And so I laid out in the article that accompanies this post an exercise for creative people when you feel the urge to shop. And it begins with really recognizing that impulsivity and appreciation for solutions and beautiful things as the source of this wanting to purchase, potentially, and there are other reasons, but this is the aspect that we're looking at it at this time, is a place to begin, and it's driven by a part of who you are as a part of your creative personality, and it's not something we're going to reject, feel, or judge, okay? It's something that we're going to accept and understand. It comes with a part of our personality that we honor. Therefore, we're going to honor and respect this part of us also. And we're going to take those feelings and see if we can redirect them to something beautiful or functional or solution finding in our life that we already have. But likely this is going to feel a little bit like a stopgap measure for the power of a creative personality. So what I want you to add on is, can you create something beautiful or functional that would up the ante of your appreciation for the item that you were going to purchase? If you were looking at, for example, a system of new storage bins and you were thinking, oh, this will help me organize my studio in the perfect way, could you redirect that into going through your studio and reorganizing things that you already have in a purposeful way with objects that are already there and being super creative about repurposing things that are there? Yeah, probably. And that's going to fill that same sense of like impulsivity, which is really wanting to make that space functional for you, for example. Or if you were appreciating a really beautiful jacket, is there a piece from your own wardrobe that you can take out and spruce up? Or can you repurpose something else, or even organize your wardrobe in a way that you feel like you are appreciating the beauty of your fashion or what you're wearing a little bit more? Yeah, probably. And so this is kind of the extra step that I think as a creative person you can really push yourself to take to help you manage the urge to shop. And certainly there are times when it is okay to purchase something if it feels like, and if you feel like it's building up your life and what you already have. And that's really ultimately the point of bringing something new into your life, right? I've gone on for a little while about this, so I want to wrap it up. But the last thing that I want to say is there are some applications with children that are a little bit different than applications with adults. And the main difference is the child brain is still developing, right? We're still learning how we feel about things. We're still learning what those emotions mean. We're still forming synapses between the two. So I did also put, if you have children that have powerful urges and have difficulty managing urges, and I cited from, I don't know if anyone is familiar with ADD, ITUDE, Attitude. It's a wonderful resource online for neurodiverse families. They had a wonderful exercise to work through what they call the urge monster with children, but there's a component for adults and there's a component for children. So I put a clip from that in there, and I put a link if you want to look at more, just to take all of this information and pare it down in a way that is digestible for the younger ones also. Okay, I hope this was helpful for you. If any of this applied or rang true, or if you want more information, you can always reach me through my website, creativelyllc.com. And I hope you all are doing well. All right,